Hey, what's up guys? It's Kyle and we're back with Tools Day. And today I thought I'd take it a little bit different and unique today and talk about a tool that you might not think about me talking about. So let's get into it. All right guys, so today we're gonna talk about tools of a different kind, and that tool is content creation tools. Content creation has become such a big part of my life, mostly because I've really found a passion in sharing what I know, what we do, and hopefully inspiring people out there through this form of content. So what we're gonna do is talk about all of the different camera gear, tools, and other, tech gadgets that we use to create all this video. So the first piece of camera tech that we're gonna talk about is also the most readily available, because who does not have a cell phone these days? And not only just a cell phone, but a smartphone. It seems like everybody's got a cell phone, everybody's got it out taking pictures and videos, and I'm no different. Like when I'm on job sites, when I'm at, anywhere, doing anything, it's like my hand's on my cell phone and I'm using it to create videos or take those pictures. So what I love about the cell phone is obviously it's super small compared to any other camera. It's multi-faceted, you can use it for everything, and it takes amazing video, audio, pictures, whatever. I've got an iPhone X or 10, I don't know even what you're supposed to call it, but it takes amazing 4K video, it takes crisp HDR pictures, and it fits in my pocket. I've also got one of these pop sockets, which I always thought they were just for teenage girls. Sorry if I offend anybody, but I tell you what, as soon as I put one on my phone and I used it to take those selfie videos, it became evident that I think I kind of just had to live with it now, because it makes you feel like you're never gonna drop your phone. And obviously, man, these phones, they take amazing video, they take crisp audio. Even when you're outside, it seems like these things just keep going further and further. And if you don't want to invest in expensive camera gear, I would just go ahead and maybe get a really nice cell phone that you can use, because it's gonna last you and it's gonna take great quality. Now, everybody has a cell phone, and it makes it super easy for anybody to go make that viral video. But for me, I'm building stuff like all day, and to take my cell phone out all the time gets a little bit cumbersome. So what I did was I went out, I bought a couple GoPro Hero 5 Blacks, thanks to Jimmy DiResta. If you haven't seen his channel, I'll go ahead and tag it here. He was kind of my inspiration to go out and get those GoPros and start getting those time-lapse shots, or just that kind of set it and forget it video. And so that's what I've really used my GoPros for. But then I kind of still wanted all that footage to look the same, so I wanted to be able to do those selfie style videos. And what I did was I went ahead and I got one of the GoPro sticks, the gimbals, or whatever you call it, and what it really allowed me to do was to keep with that smooth cinematic look, but it still had some of those pitfalls that I wasn't very happy with. The biggest problem with the GoPro is the audio. Now, I am not any camera nerd by any stretch, so I don't know a whole lot about video, about audio. I just know that a lot of people on YouTube, they would comment on the audio and really just the overall video. They liked the content, but they didn't really like how it looked or sounded. So I was on the search for something better. I went out and I bought this Canon G7 Mark II, and that was once again on the recommendation of my good buddy Jimmy DiResta. And what I was really looking for was, I was looking for something that was gonna give me that better depth, those better colors, the contrast, and being a small form factor. I wasn't quite ready to jump to the DSLR, but what I love about the G7 is I like that it's got this flippable screen so I can do my selfie modes. I like that it's got super small form factor. It protects the lens when you're not using it, and it just overall is super small, and I can just fit it right in this tiny little case. So when I'm on site and I'm not really wanting to use it, it's protected, and I can just shove it in my pocket so I can go to work. So we've talked about the iPhone. That's great for doing those quick pics, quick videos, maybe them, real easy Instagram post. The GoPros, those are great now for just those daily time-lapse videos showing the process, and I can move them around real easy. They're rugged. And then I've got the Mark II G7 that's great for, I guess, my selfie videos when I really want to explain something, but people love to see the process. And with a post frame building, which is what I do mainly, you're doing a big project over the course of weeks, maybe a month, and how do you capture that very effortlessly? And that is with the Brino time-lapse camera. So with the Brino camera, what I love about it is you've got this great enclosure, and it's a weatherproof enclosure. I've had zero issues with it. I've had it out on site for months at a time. It takes 4 AA batteries, and you can program it to basically take a series of time lapses every day and have it on the same schedule. So for me, I always start it when my day starts at 7 o'clock, and I have it end at about 6 o'clock. That way it captures everything from the time I get to site to the time I leave. Basically, you're just going to set it, forget it, make sure you get it secured, and you can leave that for probably 4 weeks, no problem, and get that cool time lapse of that whole project. Okay, so the major downfall to the Brino is that it only records in 720p. And I don't know about you, but it's gonna be 2019. We need full HD 1080p content on everything minimally. So what I did was I went ahead and I got this time-lapse camera that's very similar. It's made by Aphytus. I've never even heard of them, but it's really the only long-length time-lapse camera on the market. It's only got one button, and that's going to allow you to basically just turn it on, and then it talks through Wi-Fi with your phone, so that you can do all of your settings and get it all set up without having to look at a tiny screen on the back. So this is a full weather enclosure. You worry about nothing. It uses 4 AA batteries, and you kind of set it and forget it. But I haven't really done anything with it yet, so make sure, if you guys aren't already, go over to my Instagram at RRBuildings and follow along, and I will definitely use this in some of my future videos. That's the plan anyway. So everything that you guys have seen me talk about so far has been stuff that I've used on site to create almost all of my Instagram videos and all of my build series videos here on YouTube. The thing is, I wanted to add some additional content, and that was these Tools Day videos. But I really wanted to step it up a notch and create some really high quality videos that people would just enjoy, and I enjoy creating. So I enlisted the help of my brother Jared. He's got a lot more camera gear, a lot more camera know-how, and so we started shooting. What you're seeing right now is with the Canon 80D, and it's a great camera. It's got I think it shoots a full HD 60 frames per second. It shoots high ISO. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, these are the terms that he has talked about, but I do know all you have to do is watch the video and it looks a ton better. What it also allowed me to do was to have that external audio source. So now we're using that Rode or Rode, I don't know how you say it, lav mic hookup. And if we're getting outside and we're running around, we can hook up the Rode boom mic, I think. It just really added that next level detail, but it only shoots in that full HD 1080 60 frames per second, but we wanted to get those buttery smooth slow-mo shots of that tool in action or whatever. And so Jared went out and got a Sony a6300 mirrorless, and that was going to give us our 1080 120 frames per second video that we really wanted, and a couple different multi-angle shots. So once we did that, we realized when we got into those tight shots and we were looking for that slow motion video, we didn't, or we're not able to really create smooth video. So then the next step was I went out and I got a gimbal for those cameras, because the GoPro gimbal wasn't gonna cut it. And I got the DJI Ronin M. I don't remember what I paid for it, but they're fairly expensive, but they were recommended and rated and reviewed pretty high up when it comes to that entry level prosumer gimbal for a DSLR, and I love that thing. So what's awesome about the Ronin M is that it is super buttery smooth. As you can see, I can just go up and down. I can move it all around, and it's gonna be super stable. It's gonna give you those super smooth videos. However, it's also very heavy, and maybe I could handle this all day because I carry around a tool belt and lumber all day, but Jared was like, dude, we gotta do something different. And thankfully, we were just at the time when DJI came out with their Ronin S, and the Ronin S is super sweet because it's very portable, it's super manageable, and you can still get those sweet shots with that Canon camera or Sony, whatever we choose to put on it. If I were you guys and I was looking into maybe getting that smooth footage and looking for that Ronin or the Ronin S or the Ronin M, I would go with the Ronin S because it's so much more manageable and you can just, you know, kind of take it, pick it up and go. This thing, the Ronin M, you really gotta have like a lot of video to shoot because you're gonna be holding it. There's nothing that it sets down on unless you get some aftermarket stuff. So you're always holding it. The Ronin S has a pretty sweet stand that just is built in to the gimbal. So just to kind of recap, because I feel like I just threw a bunch at you guys, you know, out on site, I'm using my cell phone, my iPhone, I'm using my Canon Mark II G7, I'm using GoPros, the Hero 5 Blacks, I'm using the Brino time-lapse camera, and that's basically what I use on site. I am hoping to move forward and use the 80D with probably the 16 to 35 millimeter lens on site for a lot better high quality video, especially having that option for the lav mic or a boom mic to kind of get out of that wind. And as far as these Tools Day videos, we're using that 80D mostly with the 50 millimeter, which is what you're seeing right now. And then also the A6300, that Sony mirrorless, that's gonna be using the Sigma 16 millimeter 1.4 f-stop. And then we also just got, my brother bought a Sony A7 III, and that's gonna be the Sony G series. It's got a 90 millimeter lens and a 2.8 macro OSS. So that really just about wraps things up for what we use to create video on site. No, there's one more thing. How in the heck could I forget my most favorite camera, and that is the Mavic drone. That is the best part of doing my job is I've got these huge buildings, and the drone allows me to just get back and take cinematic video, pictures. You might even be able to hear it up in the air right now, but it is by far the favorite tool to pull out to capture that content. And I know a lot of you guys like the drone videos, but it's amazing to see things from a bird's eye view and a different perspective, because we all live on the ground, but to get up in the air, that's priceless. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not necessarily the tools that you come to see me use on site every day, but they're the tools that allow me to create the videos that you do see every day. And it's really become what I would say is my passion, above and beyond building post frame. It's like my hobby. It's my what isn't work throughout the week. And if there's anything that you guys are curious about, definitely reach out, put the comments down below, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and maybe you got a buddy or a friend or somebody that needs to create some content and they might find this video useful, so go ahead and share it with your friends. But until next week, go ahead down below. I'll put all of these different cameras and gear down below so you can search them and find them, because I know what it's like trying to decide where to spend your money, and hopefully this helps somebody go get the right piece of equipment to capture that content. So we'll see you guys next week on Tools Day.